What's going on, guys? It's Cliff and Denny with On Your Own Outdoors. Hey guys, it's Wednesday, so as you know, it's stand day. So the stand we got today is the X stand sit and climb. So I'm pretty familiar with this stand. Actually, one of my best friends has been using this stand for years, about the same amount of time, about the 5 or 6 years that I've actually been using my Lone Wolf. When I went to a smaller stand, he did the same. So anyways, let's talk about some things about it before we even take it apart. Number one, he's put these newer straps on them. They don't come with the little padded strap. They come with the black strap like most of the other ones. So he's put these on here, but we'll go ahead and put it on our back. So number one thing about this stand is it's super light. The only thing I don't like about it, as you can see, this stuff hangs out. So it's kind of a mixture of the pack flat on your back and the not pack flat on your back. As you can see here, it does sit against your back. And the way it does sit with these things sticking up, you can actually hook your backpack on those. So you can still pack your stuff flat on your back. So man, I give it like a 7.5 when it comes to packing flat, right? It's not quite there, but it's pretty close. Other than these things sticking out, it tucks up behind your back pretty well, so I don't think you're gonna hang up as bad. You don't have big things sticking off, but if you go to turning, you're still gonna hit stuff. So the reason I said the 7.5, guys, is you can put your stuff flat on your back with this stand, but when you're in a thicket and you go to turn, you're still gonna be hanging on stuff. So at the end of the day, it's still not a flat packing stand. So that's the one negative about it before I even put it on. The huge thing about it though is this thing is retarded light. We'll actually put the weight on here right now so you guys can see what it is. You can see here one thing that he done to kind of silence it up, right? So he's got a bungee strap wrapped around this front end of it, and then down here around the base of it, he's got another bungee strap. And what that does is silences it up, keeps it close together, that kind of thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it apart real quick. All right. So like the other sit and climb, as you can tell here, that's the part that goes on a tree. This is the part you're gonna sit on. And it gives you the option to fold it up out of your way, so it's more like hunting out of that Lone Wolf or something like that, where you've got that open front. We'll see how much space there is actually in the tree. They've got a bigger, thicker seat. Like I've said before about other stands, plus side about that thicker seat is it is most certainly going to be more comfortable, but it's going to hold some of your scent. So things that I know guys have had issues, like I said, Joseph hunts out of his, he hasn't had any issues, but I do know guys that have started to see cracks in these bands up here. So you'll see whenever I get on a tree in a minute, but I'll try to duplicate it right here so you can actually see. When you get on a tree, you can see these side pieces bend in, and that's how the stand works. But the way of that design makes these things insanely light. So the way that they operate, you can see this ball here. So what it does is you pull it down. When you pull it down, it unlocks it. You can pull it loose. So while I've got this top loose, you bring it back around this hole. The other side just stays stagnant. It's just got a bolt run through it. And that's how it goes. As always, put the top of the stand on first. With this one, you wrap it around, feed your cable back through the hole on that opposite side. Pull it back to the side that you want it, and there you go. So just know, on these stands, both sides of those actually come with that little ball assembly. It's just my buddy preferred to take that ball off on that other side, so he's not always messing with it. So he just has the right hand side where it's just locked in one place all the time. That's what that bolt was. When you usually buy them, they're gonna look like this. They're gonna have the ball like this, the pull ball on both sides where you can pull your cable out. So we've got the top on the tree, now we've got the bottom. The way the bottom operates, you've got your normal foot strap here. And then you've got your bungee cord that you can wrap around the back of your feet to keep it, you know, keep your feet slotted in there. So we're gonna go ahead and get on the tree, see what this thing's all about. All right guys, so like I always talk about, go ahead and put your top on first, get it up out of your way. Now you've got your bottom. With this one, you pull that little pin up. It comes out like that. Pull it through your loop, around the tree, and bring it back to you. Get this at the angle that you desire, and then put it back through. All right guys, so remember this, with every stand review I do, I always talk about the fact of, look, you're gonna get on a tree. Remember, right now I'm doing them flat, but just go ahead and make a note that if you're out in the woods and you're gonna climb a tree and you're going up that 15, 20, 25, 30 foot, remember to put your stand at an angle. As you go up the tree, the tree's gonna get smaller in diameter, making this come on down, and it's gonna leave you a flat platform. One of the negative things that I've talked to my buddy about this stand is, you see what it is right now? If this was a normal stand, that would be where it's at. But the way these bow in, once I get on it, put weight on it, it's gonna pinch these in and it's gonna be flat. So just remember that if you get one of these X stands. The other thing I'm not just a huge fan of before you get in the tree is it only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 adjustments really over on this side. So you're not gonna be able to get it as accurate as some of the other stands. So there's gonna be either a little kick up or a little kick down sometimes. So just remember that. So to get in it, it's just like the rest of them. Grab the top. So since this is the sit and climb, I'll use it like I did the other sit and climbs. As you can see with the kind of struggle bust that I'm having, it's not just like a beat up on the stand day, but the way these bungees are, they're just kind of loose. So it just is what it is. They're just very springy. They don't hook real good unless you got weight on them. So anyways, the foot strap on these are pretty simple. It's just a strap that goes across the base of the stand. So going up the tree with this is a sit and climb for a reason. It's got this bar. So that's the thing I don't like about it. You see where it's at now? Watch it whenever you sit on it. So it comes down like this. Grab a hold to your cable, you're sitting. Pick your feet up to you. And then on up with the next part. Alright, so that's how the sit and climb option works on it. We'll go ahead and bring this dude down to about here. I always talk about with these stands, trying to keep them about knee high. If you're bow hunting, that's where I like to have them. But with this stand, the way that it kind of sinks down, you probably need to come on up to about that thigh high. Get your seat set where you want it, and you'll sit down. So, comfortability of the stand, it seems like a pretty comfortable stand. I think I could sit here all day. That butt pad is most certainly extremely comfortable. Plus sides while you're up in the stand, as you can see here, you can take all of those angle shots that you need to. If you need to stand up and shoot, you can do that as well. It's got the bar here for the sit and climb. If you don't want it there, you can completely kick it up out of the way, and now you're free. But I will say, while I'm sitting here looking at this, look at this base. I don't like that. If you want to talk about feeling unsecure, I'm not saying I've always been the best in the world at making sure I have a safety harness on, but you can guarantee I would have one on in this stand. So one thing, guys, that I don't like about this stand, if you look, you see how spongy that is? I am not a fan of that. I'm not gonna say that I'm always the best about wearing a safety harness. I'm getting a lot better about it, guys. I mean, it is what it is. I just didn't grow up wearing one. I do now. But you can guarantee I would most certainly wear one in this stand. I just don't get that, I don't get that comfort feeling in here. It's springy. So Yeah. The other thing I wanted to show y'all while I have it out is this. So let me go ahead and put my feet back in. This stand shows it to be a sit and climb. However, you can operate it like one of the XOPs or Lone Wolves if you don't like that sit and climb. So there are some trees where the sit and climb works out really well, and there's some where I'm going to be moving around, cutting limbs and stuff as I go that I don't want that thing in my way, and you can fold it up out of the way. There you have it. I don't know if you've seen that, but man, that thing is springy. All right, so let's talk about it. Pros and cons. We always start out on the bad notes because we want to end on a positive note. So the bad things about this stand, I do not like that sponginess of it. There's just no way around it. I don't have anything else to say about it. You could see it. It's not a secret. It doesn't have that secure grab and a hold feel. I'm sure once you got used to it, it'd be perfectly fine. Like I said, my buddy hunts out his all the time. But I will say that dude is scared to climb over about 16 foot. I think now I know why. So I'm most certainly going to set him in my Lone Wolf and see what happens. So I'm not a huge fan of the springiness of the stand. Other than that, I don't really have any complaints. You've got the springiness of it, and then the straps themselves on the stand don't have just a whole bunch of adjustments. So I feel like you're going to find yourself a lot of times either adjusting a whole bunch, or you're going to find yourself kind of sitting like this or getting that kind of lean forward feeling because it doesn't have that exact sweet spot with the adjustments on the strap on the top and bottom. So those two, I have to say that's a negative too, right? So the adjustment, the amount of adjustments that the cables have, as well as the springiness of the stand, I think are about the only two complaints that I really have of this stand. So let's talk about the pluses. Sit and climb. I'm always talking about those sit and climbs. I'm gonna talk them up a little bit. This one more so than the rest. So unlike the other sit and climbs, one negative about those is, in any of the brands, when you sit in them, you sit down below. They've got that hammock kind of seat. So even though you can fold that bar down out of your weight, you're still kind of sitting in, so your sides are like right here. So when it comes to trying to shoot over the side, you're still gonna have to stand up. You might be able to get one shot directly here, but this one that's right here, where the point kind of comes out, it's not gonna work. With this stand, you're not gonna have that issue because it's got the hard platform up on top. So it's made kind of like the Lone Wolf Hand Climber or the XOP, right? So it's got the hard platform up top. So when you're sitting, you're not sitting down inside that stand, you're still sitting up on top of it. It gives you that extra like 4 inches that you need of your cam to be able to rotate here, to be able to take that shot while you're still sitting. I'm gonna always make that a plus. Doesn't matter which stand it is, I'm always make it a plus because there's times late season where you don't wanna do a whole bunch of moving because you don't have a whole bunch of foliage on the tree that's around you. And I don't care how high you get. I don't know about y'all, but here in Arkansas and a couple of our places, they walk around with their head up in the tree like this. So, you know, it is what it is. You're trying to make minimum movements, and having that seat raised like that so you're not sitting down in the stand, it's gonna be beneficial. The other plus side about it is it's so small. You send it on my back, it's small. Does it actually pack flat? No. But can you pack your equipment on it flat? Yes. So it's like 50-50. I said 7.5 earlier, and I'm gonna stick with that because it does give you the availability to go ahead and put that stuff all inside. You know, hang that stuff close to your back. The only thing, and there's another guy on the page here that on my Facebook page that posted a picture of one of these a few weeks ago, and I noticed what he does is he takes his cables out. So then you just got this sticking off the back, and here nor there, as flimsy as those things are, other than a little bit of noise, it's gonna be like carrying that flat back stand. You don't have the big bulkiness sticking off the back of it. So I'm not gonna call that a negative or a positive because it's kind of back and forth. The weight of this stand is absolutely nothing. This is extremely, extremely light stand. So if you're packing it a long ways, you're doing some of the running and gunning style hunting, I think this thing is really still a very good option. Make sure, guys, for safety, if you use one of these, wear a safety harness, 110%. number one. And then number one, you should always wear one. I got it. I don't wear it doing my videos, like I said, because I'm no more than, 8 foot off the ground. And then number two, you most certainly want to get you a strap that goes from your top to your bottom. And the reason I say that is if you keep the pressure on the bottom of your stand, it's going to keep that top from sponging, because if you've got a strap in between here and here, when you put pressure down on this, it's going to pull down on this. So you're always going to have some sort of pressure on the bottom, whether that's sitting down, your feet just resting, or when you stand up. And I think that that's going to be beneficial to keep that top from springing up and you bumping it and it trying to fall down. Yeah, guys, that's the X-Stand sit and climb. Super light. It's comfy. It's springy. It kind of is flat. And that's really all I have to say about it. It's a good stand. It's just kind of sketchy. So anyways, guys, don't forget, if you have something you want to see reviewed, drop it down in the comment box. We'll see if we can get our hands on it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hit that little bell up there in the top. And the only reason I say that, guys, you never know when we're going to do a piece of equipment that you didn't even know that you needed, or you didn't know existed. I did that earlier last week with a broadhead, and now it's in my quiver. So anyways, guys, that's all I've got for you today. I appreciate you watching, and yeah, we'll be with y'all early part of next week. I'm heading to Missouri, so good hunting, guys.